hands-on look at the Samsung Galaxy Buds from the perspective of an AirPods user. Check it out. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Mac. Be sure to thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and then enable notifications with the bell icon so you won't miss any upcoming videos. How's it going, guys? Jeff Benjamin with 9 to 5 Mac. Now, the Galaxy Buds that I acquired came with my Galaxy S10 Plus that I recently compared to the iPhone XS Max. A lot of you guys were very passionate about that comparison. I'll leave that link down below in the description. Here you see the front of the Buds. You have that limited time offer not for resale sticker there, so Samsung obviously doesn't want you hawking these things after the fact, after you've received them essentially free of charge from your purchase of the Galaxy S10. So, how do the Galaxy Buds truly stack up to the Apple AirPods? Well, we're going to unbox right now, take a look at it, and then compare the two products. So inside the box, you have a documentation package nestled right at the top of the box. I'm going to go ahead and open that up and see what's inside. You have a quick start guide along with the terms and conditions. Now inside the quick start guide, it basically tells you how to use the Buds, how to charge them, tells you all the indicators, what they mean, how to use the Galaxy wearable app, etc. So pretty straightforward to the point. Now, inside the box, guess what? You're going to find, yes, another box, and that box contains all the accessories related to the Galaxy Buds. So let's go ahead and pull that out first and see what's inside there, and then we'll get to the actual Buds unboxing. So inside the box, you find 2 pairs of wingtips and 2 pairs of earbud tips. You also get this right here, the USB-C to USB-A cable for charging. Now those earbud tips come in different sizes. You also get a wingtip with a larger wing and also a wingtip without a wing on it at all, just in case you don't like using wingtips. Okay, so let's remove the charging case from the box. On top, you'll see the Samsung logo, followed by Sound by AKG. Of course, AKG managed by Harman and owned by Samsung. On the bottom, you have serial number, regulatory info. On the back, you have your USB Type-C input for charging. And on front, you have your charging case battery indicator. So let's crack open the charging case and see what's inside. Of course, you'll find 2 Galaxy Buds nestled inside a molded plastic area ready for use. Okay, so let's briefly discuss some of the characteristics of the charging case for the Galaxy Buds. So let's pop out this one and this one. And the first thing you'll notice is a pair of charging contacts for the left and right Buds. And this is something that stood out to me when I compared the AirPods. The charging contacts for the AirPods are deep inside the charging case. Users can't actually touch them with their fingers, which keeps the contacts clean. The next thing you'll notice is the earbud battery indicator light, which gives you the status of your earbuds when placed inside the charging case. All right, so there's an up close and personal look at that. Okay, so let's talk about the individual Galaxy Buds. You have your wingtip, you have your earbud tip, you have the oddly named touch sensitive sensor, you have a pair of charging contacts, and you have a microphone. Now on the opposite side, you have another microphone, which is right here, and you have your touchpad, which is right here. Okay, so that's a brief breakdown of the characteristics of the Galaxy Buds. So here are both Buds for left and right. Let's go ahead and put them back in the charging case. And similar to the AirPods, when you place your Buds back inside the charging case, you'll see the little LED indicator light up to tell you the charging status. One of my favorite things about the AirPods are how the case handles, how easy it is to hold in the hand, how portable it is. You can put it in a pocket and not even realize that you have it on your person. And I also appreciate how you can use one hand to flip that top back and see your AirPods inside. Now, you'll probably need to do some finger gymnastics if you try to get those AirPods out with one hand, but it's nice to just be able to flip it open just to see if the pods are in there, if they're charging. It's obvious to me that Apple spent a lot of time on the design of the case itself. And I have to say that I've had these AirPods since launch and I've dropped them so many times and they've held up so well. Now, the Galaxy Buds charging case is also very small. However, it has that pill-shaped design. It doesn't feel as polished as the AirPods, to be honest, but it does give you a very nice, satisfying click sound when you close the case. Both the Galaxy Buds and the AirPods are magnetic in that they stay inside the charging case, and this connection helps to quickly align the Buds within the case for both devices. However, because of the design of the AirPods, the magnetic connection is a little bit stronger on the AirPods when compared to the Galaxy Buds. Not a huge deal, but due to the design, you don't get that satisfying snap of the Buds inside the Galaxy Buds charging case. Now let's talk about pairing, because the AirPods are renowned for how easy they are to pair with your iPhone. That custom W1 chip that Apple launched alongside the AirPods really made the idea of pain-free, seamless Bluetooth pairing something that customers wanted, something that they would appreciate for sure. And Samsung has more or less copied the interface and setup process with their Galaxy Buds, as you'll see right here. So when you open the case, you get something that looks eerily familiar. If you're an AirPods user, you can quickly connect to your Galaxy Buds just with a single tap. The Galaxy wearable app will launch and you're connected just like that. So gotta hand it to Samsung, they did a decent job of replicating the setup process. But when it comes to battery life and charging, you'll notice some differences for sure. First of all, when you open the case for your AirPods next to your iPhone, you're gonna see not only the status for the individual buds, but you also see the status of the charging case as well. Also, you get a very handy Today View widget, which tells you your status of your case in your AirPods. Now, when you open the Galaxy Buds charging case, you'll also get a little pop-up telling you the status of your battery, but conspicuously missing is the status of the charging case. You'll have to rely on the LED indicators on the case itself, apparently, because I couldn't find the status anywhere. Let me know if you guys were able to find it. Now, that being said, one of the things I really like about the Galaxy Buds is that it uses USB Type-C for charging. I really hope Apple soon moves away from Lightning, because USB-C is becoming quite ubiquitous. It's on our iPads, it's on our Macs and MacBooks. Lightning had a great run, no doubt, but it's time to move on. What's another great thing about Samsung's wireless buds? Qi wireless charging is built right into the charging case. As you know, that is something that Apple's first gen AirPods charging case doesn't do. We've been waiting on the second gen version for who knows how long, along with AirPower, and it's still MIA. But to add insult to injury for AirPods users, Samsung takes it even further. They allow you to charge your Galaxy Buds directly on the back of the Galaxy S10 using a feature called Wireless Power Share, a super awesome feature for Galaxy Buds users. But when you take into account overall battery life, it's actually not all bad news for AirPods users. For instance, the Galaxy Buds get 13 hours of combined battery life with the buds in the charging case, whereas the AirPods get a combined 24 hours of battery life with the AirPods in the charging case. So you won't need to charge your AirPods as often. Apple notes that AirPods users will get about 5 hours of battery life before needing to put them back into the charging case to recharge. And you get a whopping 3 hours of usage from just a 15-minute charge. The Galaxy Buds give you 6 hours of usage between charges, so that's good, but a 15-minute charge will only yield you about 1.7 hours of playtime, so keep that in mind. Now let's talk about fit, because in my opinion, this is where the Galaxy Buds really excel over the AirPods potentially. Obviously, it's going to be a kind of your mileage may vary sort of thing. The cool thing about the Galaxy Buds is that they incorporate both replaceable wing tips and replaceable earbud tips. So for quite a few users out there, the Galaxy Buds are going to fit your ears better than the AirPods will. I'm fortunate enough that the AirPods fit my ears relatively well. They're not perfect, they do fall out at times, but I can get away with wearing them on most occasions, and most of the time they stay put in my ears unless I'm doing something really vigorous, I'm running, etc. Samsung includes 3 earbud tips in small, medium, and large. They also include 3 wing tips. One's technically not a wing tip because it doesn't include a wing at all, but then you get the 2 different sizes of wing tips. And that really does make a huge difference in fit. So that wing tip presses up against the flap inside your ear, sort of lodging it in place. And that earbud tip fills your ear canal and really kind of molds itself to your ear canal to help keep the buds in place as well. So using both of those, I think quite a few users are going to find that the Galaxy Buds fit their ears better than the Apple AirPods. And this is especially true when engaged in activities like running, for instance. Let me just simulate some sort of activity. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just flipping my ear, but just trying to simulate, movement so you can see that the Galaxy Buds aren't going anywhere, right? I'm going to put my AirPods in now, and I'm going to do something similar. AirPods actually fit pretty good in my left ear. They don't fit as well in my right ear. So I guess some sort of mutant or something. I don't know, but it's definitely kind of a weird phenomenon there. But you can see that the AirPods are sticking pretty well in the left ear. When I put it in the right ear, guess what happens when I do that? It just falls right out. And of course, the Galaxy Buds stick in there perfectly fine because of those wingtips and the earbud tips. So let's talk about wireless range for the AirPods and for the Galaxy Buds. I find that both really aren't anything to write home about. I mean, they are Bluetooth after all. So I conducted a very unscientific test. I set my phone down and walked away and just saw how long it took before the signal died out. I was able to get to that tree over there before the signal dropped out on the Galaxy Buds. And then I did the same exact thing with the Apple AirPods. So the same thing happened. They both pretty much died right around the same place, right near that tree over there. And the Galaxy Buds were actually a little bit more finicky. Neither device provides what I would describe as impressive range. And with that in mind, I wouldn't expect to be able to move more than a few dozen feet away from your phone. Obviously, sound quality is a very, very subjective subject matter. Some people think one thing sounds good, the other thinks it sounds bad. I wouldn't label the Galaxy Buds sound as bad. It definitely sounds uninspired though. Even with the earbud tips that provide that sense of isolation and the increased low-end range, I just wasn't impressed by any characteristic of the sound quality coming from the Galaxy Buds. Now don't get me wrong, I am in no way claiming that the AirPods are some pinnacle of sound quality because that could not be further from the truth. However, I do think they sound better than the Galaxy Buds, especially on the low end. Some of the songs I like to listen to have a lot of bass, and I find that the low end range comes across clearer on the AirPods compared to these right here. And even the mids and highs don't sound as good on the Galaxy Buds. For instance, I was listening to Hotel California by the Eagles, and I could more distinctly hear instrument separation using my AirPods and pick up things that I just wasn't able to pick up as well on the Galaxy Buds. Now, one thing I recommend for Samsung users is to go into the Samsung Wearable app and enable the dynamic equalizer at the bottom of the app. This will allow you to change the various equalizer settings you have: treble boost, clear, soft, and bass boost, but I recommend sticking with dynamic. It gives your music a little bit more depth that is lacking without the setting enabled. Now, I realize that Apple has EQ settings within the Music app, but I kind of wish they had something like this, a dedicated area, perhaps even a standalone app for the AirPods, sort of like this section within the Galaxy Wearable app that's dedicated to the Galaxy Buds. So while we're on this subject, let's go ahead and talk about the Galaxy Wearable app and some of the functionality that you get. First of all, you can set up notifications to sound off in your ears with your Galaxy Buds, so that's kind of neat. You can turn those on or off on an app-by-app basis. And you can customize the long press gesture on your touchpad on your Galaxy Buds. So if you go into touchpad, of course, they tell you some of the basic functions, like a single tap will play pause, double tap, play next track, triple tap will play the previous track, etc. There's other little functions thrown in there as well. You can also lock the touchpad if you have a lot of accidental taps, which I did run into quite a bit when trying to remove or place the earbuds back into my ears. That's one of the advantages of the little stem design that Apple uses for the AirPods. You can also, like I said, customize the touch and hold or long press gesture, so you can set it to do volume up or down. When one is volume up, the other automatically assigns volume down and vice versa. You can change it to quick ambient sound, which allows you to temporarily pipe in ambient sound into your ears, or you can change it to voice command, and that will allow you to control Google Assistant or Bixby on your Galaxy phone. Now, due to the fact that the Galaxy Buds use those silicone earbud tips, your ears are more or less isolated from the outside world. So that makes it difficult to hear voices or announcements when you're in the airport, etc. That's why this feature exists, ambient sound. This allows you to pipe in ambient sound permanently, and you can adjust the volume, and you can enable voice focus, which makes voices stand out more prominently. Personally, I prefer the way that the AirPods do it. I'm not a fan of the isolating earbud tips. And although the ambient sound settings work, it's apparent that it's piping that sound in instead of you hearing it naturally. And then lastly, in the Galaxy Wearable app, you'll find the Find My Earbuds setting, and this allows you to find your Galaxy Buds in case they've been lost around the house, and this causes the buds to make a noise, and obviously the buds can't be dead for this to work, so keep that in mind. Now, in order to customize your AirPods, you won't find a dedicated app. Instead, you'll need to go into the Bluetooth settings, tap the little I by AirPods, and there you can configure your AirPods. So you have your double tap gesture on the left or right AirPod. You can assign that to Siri, play, pause, next track, previous track, or off. You can do the same thing for the right as well. There's automatic ear detection, and there's also a microphone setting. You can set it to automatic, or you can say always left AirPod or always right AirPod. So the settings here aren't very verbose. I mean, there's not a lot of settings with the Galaxy Buds either, but I would prefer if Apple had a dedicated AirPods application with EQ settings and other fun things that we could set up within that. The AirPods are a big enough product where I think they deserve their own app. Before we conclude, let's talk about a couple more things. When you're listening to music with the Galaxy Buds, if you take one bud out, the music continues playing, which is ridiculous, right? AirPods, the music stops playing. This music keeps on playing. I don't get it. Now, if you take both earbuds out of your ear, so I'm going to do that right now. If you take both earbuds out of your ear while playing, the Galaxy Buds will stop music playback. So it works with both, but it doesn't work when you take just one out of your ear. And you'll have to manually start playback yourself when putting the buds back in your ear. The AirPods do it better. To improve call quality and voice assistant feedback, Apple employs the use of dual beamforming microphones and a voice accelerometer. Most of the people that I speak with on the phone, when I ask them how the sound quality is with the AirPods, they say it's really good. Now, when I asked the same question when using my Galaxy Buds, it wasn't so good. One person told me, and I quote, "It sounds like you're talking out of a bag." And I don't think that was meant to be a compliment. So here's my final thoughts. The Galaxy Buds. I got them free of charge because I bought a Galaxy S10. I wanted to see how it stacked up to the AirPods since Samsung is arguably Apple's chief competitor. While I don't think they're on the level of the AirPods just yet, I think that they are a decent product. I think that there are some good features to be had here. I like that you have that easy pairing, even though it is a pretty shameless ripoff of the AirPods pairing interface. Nonetheless, it's a good ripoff because it works well, and you don't have to finagle with the pains that Bluetooth pairing can sometimes impose on you. Now that said, there are some qualities about the Galaxy Buds that I wish the AirPods had. Number one, wireless charging. I mean, we're still waiting on second gen AirPods and AirPower, and in the meantime, yes, Samsung's letting you recharge your Galaxy Buds with your Galaxy S10. And I don't care if you dislike Samsung, you have to admit that is really cool. But where Apple really excels is with its custom W1 chip, which not only allows for easy pairing, but provides you with much better overall battery life. Hopefully the second generation AirPods will feature a better fit, maybe a more grippy surface. I don't mean that I want Apple to employ the use of earbud tips or wingtips, but I do think they need to fit better for more users. So when you consider things like battery life, OS integration, call quality, sound quality for music, and overall design of both the charging case and the AirPods themselves, I don't think there's any question that the Galaxy Buds, while good, they aren't quite up to par with Apple's AirPods. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts about the Apple AirPods versus the Galaxy Buds. If you appreciated this video, please leave a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. This is Jeff with 9 to 5 Mac.